Hello everyone and welcome to Bahrain, here for round 1 of the 2021 Formula 1 season in the Alternative Apex series. This will be our first chance to see all of these drivers and teams out on the circuit in race trim. This will be our first true opportunity to see how quick and slow these teams and drivers are in 2021. This will also give us our first chance to really understand who are going to be the favourites for the championship in this season. There you go, there is the Bahrain circuit with plenty of opportunity for overtaking with 3 DRS zones and so many heavy braking zones that should lead to lots and lots of overtaking. The Bahrain circuit always proves to be an exciting venue for Formula 1 action. With 22 cars on the grid, I'm sure today will be no different at all. The question is, who of these drivers is going to get the first win of the year, proving themselves to be the favourite for the championship? However, this is a 10-race season, so if you have a bad day here in Bahrain, this will not be your only chance for a good result. There will be plenty of opportunities later in the season to get some points. But here is your starting grid for Bahrain. On pole position after an excellent lap in qualifying, it is Sergio Perez, who is leading a Red Bull front row lockout alongside Max Verstappen. Down the rest of the grid we have Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas alongside each other on the second row, followed up by Norris and Sainz, former teammates, on the third row. Leclerc, Alonso 7th and 8th, Gasly and Vettel finishing out the top 10 positions. Then it is the new rookie Pato O'Ward in 11th alongside Stroll, behind them it's Tsunoda, Ocon, Ricciardo with a grid penalty down in 15th, Giovinazzi, Raikkonen, the second of the new Chevrolet drivers, in 18th position, the Williams lineup of Russell and Latifi in 19th and 20th, then Schumacher and Mazepin bring up the back of the grid. That's your grid, ladies and gentlemen. We're now just a few moments away from lights out here in Bahrain, and we are on the grid now. The lights are all on, and we are racing in Bahrain. Sergio Perez gets a great launch there from pole position. Max Verstappen having to defend from Lewis Hamilton behind him. On the outside line, that's Lando Norris, who looks like he's got a good start. He's going to try and go around the outside of both Mercedes on the brakes, perhaps. Looks like he's side by side there with Lewis Hamilton, but Perez is leading the field clear up through turns 3 on his way to turn 4. Both Red Bulls with a good launch there, and Lando Norris up into 3rd position there. What a start for the McLaren driver, giving him a chance at a podium in his first race of the season. Pierre Gasly, another driver who's had a good start there, up into 5th position, but leading the pack is Sergio Perez, just ahead of Max Verstappen. Red Bull holding on to that 1-2 at the moment. Lando Norris in 3rd. That must have been a great move on the brakes for Lando Norris, up into that 3rd position. But looks like there's a bit of a gap forming behind Valtteri Bottas, a 3.4 second gap there down to Charles Leclerc. So perhaps there's been an incident further down the order here as we go to have a look, and that's Leclerc with a huge train of cars behind him. What has happened to Charles Leclerc here? Could there be some damage on the Ferrari car of Charles Leclerc? Let's have a look at that front wing when the camera angle changed. Yes, that's a missing end plate on the right hand side for Charles Leclerc, and he's really struggling. Look at the speed. He is way off the pace here. And look at this queue of cars trying to get past, and that's the Chevrolet of Pato O'Ward. He's going to go all the way around the outside. Yes, he is. What a move there from O'Ward, getting up into 7th position there. That is a great around the outside move there for the new rookie in Formula 1 in the new Chevrolet team. But look at Leclerc still holding up Sebastian Vettel, former teammates at Ferrari. Vettel going to try and go to the outside now of Charles Leclerc. Can he pull this move off? Charles Leclerc with that wing damage, he's going to struggle to get any grip at all. Surely he will have to pit, and yes he does. Charles Leclerc pulls it into the pits here to replace that front wing. It's a horror start there for Charles Leclerc. It's all gone wrong for the Ferrari driver at the start. And let's see what did happen to Charles Leclerc at the start. You're going to look to the outside here of Lando Norris, and we have to back up there. It's a close call already on that front wing. Now onto the brakes, into Talbot. You can see a lot of dust flying up, and straight into the back there of Valtteri Bottas. He's gone into the back of the Mercedes driver. Pierre Gasly's gone around the outside of him there as well, and that is where Leclerc got the damage. Now Lando Norris, he started 5th and he got into 3rd off the start. Let's see, what was his start like? Not great off the line. He does get alongside Bottas, but Hamilton's well clear up ahead. But look at that braking zone there from Lando Norris. So late on the brakes, and gets himself up into the 3rd position, wheel to wheel with Lewis Hamilton there. That is a brilliant getaway for the McLaren driver, looking to start the season with a podium. I mean, there's no better start than that. Now here, Pierre Gasly got past Valtteri Bottas early in this race. This is Bottas' chance to re-overtake the AlphaTauri driver. Going on the brakes into turn 1, got a long view here. Now going to switch to this angle here. And Gasly has been passed by Valtteri Bottas there. That's a crucial overtake for Valtteri Bottas. Now, Ricciardo on the back for Tsunoda here for the final point-paying position here on lap 3 of the race. Ricciardo's going to try and go to the outside of Yuki Tsunoda. Yuki Tsunoda on those medium tyres. Ricciardo on those soft compound tyres. Ricciardo got knocked down the grid after a grid penalty. However, he has had to start on the softs because he did make Q3 in qualifying, so he's on the back foot here, but maybe he can use this extra grip he has to get past the AlphaTauri. Doesn't look like he's able to do it on that occasion. Now, Sebastian Vettel in 8th position has been a decent up, but oh no, that's smoke! That is smoke from the back of the Aston Martin's engine. That's Sebastian Vettel. Looks like he's dropping down the order here. He's lost a position to Sainz and he's pulling off the side of the road. Sebastian Vettel is going to go out of this race with an engine failure of some kind in round 1 of the season. That's going to put him on the back foot for the rest of the year now. That is an engine, or at least some sort of component in that engine that has already failed in round 1 of the season. That will not fill Sebastian Vettel and the Aston Martin team with confidence. Meanwhile, up at the front, Verstappen is really piling the pressure on Sergio Perez at the moment, but these two equal machinery. The only difference at the moment is the DRS that Verstappen has behind his teammate. Verstappen, though, at the moment, he looks as though he has a little bit more pace than Sergio Perez, but it just doesn't look like he's quite got the run on his teammate at the moment. Perhaps not running low enough wings to quite clear his teammate here, but Perez doing a good job continuing to lead this race. Now we've got a battle here between, I believe, Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll, breaking into turn 1. Battling for 11th placer Alonso, another one of those drivers who looks to have started on the soft compound of tyres. That means he's going to probably have to make a stop more than those that started on the mediums. Wheel to wheel with the Aston Martin driver, and all is that. That's Esteban Ocon going to try and follow Alonso through here on the outside line. Can he make that move stick? This is a bad moment for Lance Stroll's race. He now drops not only behind the Alpine of Alonso, but now also behind the Alpine of Esteban Ocon. And that's gone from bad to worse there for Lance Stroll. Now we're on board here with Lando Norris, still in that 3rd position, and like Sergio Perez, is able to defend on these in this situation at the moment. He's got Lewis Hamilton behind him, both of those drivers on the soft tyres, but Norris doing an outstanding job here, just 1.5 seconds off Max Verstappen ahead of him. Now Perez holding up Verstappen a little bit, perhaps helping Norris here, but this is still an outstanding start to the race for Lando Norris, who is still in 3rd position. Meanwhile, in 7th position at the moment, after we saw that great move on lap 1 of the race, he was one of the few drivers who managed to avoid Charles Leclerc's damaged car and use that to his advantage. He's now up in 7th position. The rookie to Formula 1, along with the rookie team, I guess you could say, Chevrolet, currently running 7th position, is Pato O'Ward, the young Mexican driver, really shining so far in this race. Now, into the pits. This is Carlos Sainz, the second of the Ferrari cars. This is an early pit stop, but maybe only by a lap or two. Perhaps this is the soft tyres are starting to come to the end of their lifespan. But an early pit stop for Carlos Sainz. Is that an Alpine and Fernando Alonso behind? Yes, it is. Alonso is also into the pit lane here. So that's 2 of the midfield soft runners pitting early on. Now we cut to Max Verstappen. Is he going to come into pits a lap later on lap 7? Max Verstappen is pulling into the pit lane now from 2nd place. He's going to try and undercut Sergio Perez. Interesting to see Red Bull announce it's that early in it's round 1 of the season. Surely there's no team audit here. Odd to see Red Bull not pitting Sergio Perez first, but this is going to give Max Verstappen the chance of the undercut here. As we now cut to Sergio Perez a lap later, coming into the pit lane. Let's see how he can do in this stop. Norris also coming to the pits behind. I believe Hamilton pit at the same time as Verstappen did. So Hamilton and Verstappen both trying to undercut the car in front of him. Perez actually, was he held up a little bit there by Lando Norris? Let's cut to the pit exit. And that's Max Verstappen's Red Bull. That is indeed Max Verstappen's Red Bull. Is way ahead of Sergio Perez here. Already a corner or two up the road with temperature in his tyres. That's a great undercut there by the Red Bull of Max Verstappen. Noticeably, Hamilton looks like he's also got past Lando Norris. So Lando Norris, sadly, now off the podium here. Now, Patricia O'Ward in the lead of this race. In that Chevrolet, he's got Max Verstappen behind him on fresh tyres. So Verstappen sending it to the inside. Not a corner you usually see some overtaking, but a great move there by Max Verstappen. Pato O'Ward is staying out longer in this first thing. I believe he started on the medium tyres there. Hence why he is still out on the circuit. Now here, this is Sergio Perez on the back of Pato O'Ward again. Pato O'Ward still out on those medium tyres. Hamilton just behind Sergio Perez as well. Could Hamilton try and get both cars into turn 1? No, only able to get Pato O'Ward. Same goes for Perez. Hamilton now up into 3rd position in this race. Perez back into 2nd. Valtteri Bottas here on Lando Norris. Can he do what his teammate couldn't do, which is pass the McLaren driver? It looks like he's going to be able to do it coming out of turn 1 and into turn 1, sorry. Onto the brake. Lovely move there by Valtteri Bottas, just getting past the McLaren driver. He has got a compound advantage though. Looks like McLaren not quite as confident on their tyres. As I want to list the battle here for the 11th position between Robert Schwartzman, the second of the Chevrolet cars, and AlphaTauri of Pierre Gasly. Pierre Gasly making the move in the final corner, but that's probably not a wise play to go for the move, and this is why. He's going to give Robert Schwartzman DRS down the main track, and Robert Schwartzman is going to fight back into turn 1. Can Schwartzman make this move work on the brakes into turn 1, wheel to wheel with Pierre Gasly? Pierre Gasly on those soft tyres, he's going to have more grip on the outside line. Can he make it work? Yes, he can. Pierre Gasly up ahead of Robert Schwartzman, but now it's Antonio Giovinazzi, Kimi Raikkonen putting the pressure on behind. Kimi Raikkonen going to try and pass Robert Schwartzman as well. Is Robert Schwartzman going to lose 2 places here? Robert Schwartzman on the inside line, wheel to wheel, and Kimi Raikkonen's ahead already. Good exit there for the Finnish driver, getting up into 12th position in this race. Now Pierre Gasly a lap later on the back of Antonio Giovinazzi. This is going to be a position to get him into the points. Pierre Gasly onto the brakes into third one, nice and easy. The gripper got out of that final corner just too much and flew past the Alfa Romeo of Antonio Giovinazzi. Now, this is the driver in P5. Trisha Ward is now pitting for Chevrolet out of the 5th position. Now, one of the medium starters, so I guess we'll see a lot of the medium runners now in the pits. And this is a little bit later. This is a group of cars. This is Pato O'Ward, Daniel Ricciardo, and Robert Schwartzman all in a group here. That's Robert Schwartzman was ahead of these two as they started the straight. That's Daniel Ricciardo going all the way around the outside there of Schwartzman out of the final corner. Schwartzman is going to pull into the pits here. But can the Chevrolet of Pato O'Ward get a run on Ricciardo here? Ricciardo pitted earlier and is on softer tyres, but it looks like those soft tyres might be coming to the end of their life as they're going wheel to wheel into turn 1. Pato O'Ward's going to go to the outside of Daniel Ricciardo, but he runs up a little bit wide there, and Ricciardo is going to hold on to that 7th position in this race. Can Pato O'Ward get a run up the hill? He's got DRS, Ricciardo does not, but it looks like Ricciardo is going to hold on to that 7th position for a little bit longer in this race. Now, that is Lance Stroll on the back of Esteban Ocon. The Aston Martin going to go wheel to wheel with the Alpine here. Stroll with the DRS going to go to the outside of turn 1. Stroll and Ocon both on hard compound tyres here. So this is raw pace that Stroll's going to try and get Ocon with. Now, of course, Ocon got ahead of Stroll earlier in the race along his teammate through. But at the moment, he's managed to defend from Lance Stroll, who clearly has a little bit more pace than the Alpine driver at this stage. Stroll going to try and go all the way around outside of turn 4. That's a risky one, but he's going to have to back up there. Surely he's not far enough alongside going to the S section. But look at that run by Stroll on the outside line, getting more grip on the exit of the corner. They're going to go wheel to wheel through the S section into the hairpin. Ocon there just deeper on the brakes. He's going to hold on to that 12th position for another lap here. But Ocon under big pressure from Lance Stroll. Now that's race leader Max Verstappen into the pit lane here. This time he does pit. The leader does pit ahead of 2nd place. So this is Verstappen perhaps covering off from the undercut. He's going to go to the medium compound tyres here. Is Max Verstappen. And that is Lewis Hamilton now. He also hit a lap on the same lap as Verstappen. He's now going to come out ahead. Is he of Sergio Perez? Yes. Lewis Hamilton is going to come out ahead of Sergio Perez. The undercut again working against Sergio Perez, who's now lost a position on both rounds of pit stops. So Verstappen in the lead of this race, well, net lead of this race, as Ricciardo is battling Kimi Raikkonen for the 11th position. And Ricciardo they're getting ahead of the Finn and getting 1 place outside of the point. Now Charles Leclerc here, the driver that got damage early on in this race. He is on the back of Antonio Giovinazzi, Ferrari power versus Ferrari power. Of course, in the back of an Alfa Romeo there in Antonio Giovinazzi's case. But Leclerc going to power straight past the Alfa Romeo of Antonio Giovinazzi into turn 1. Behind that's a battle between Robert Schwartzman and Carlos Sainz. Those two battling it out. The Ferrari of Carlos Sainz again. Ferrari doing well at this stage of the race, cutting its way through the slightly slower cars towards the back of the pack. Now Esteban Ocon versus Lance Stroll. We're going to see these two going at it again. Yes, that's Stroll going to go to the outside now of Esteban Ocon. Stroll, he's clearly got the pace over Ocon. He's got to make this move count. Let's see, can he make the move work around the outside of turn 1 and the inside of turn 2? No, loses the front end a little bit there and has to drop back. And always that Pierre Gasly going to try and have a go on Lance Stroll. Can he pull this move off? Not quite able to, but looks like Stroll going to go to the outside of Ocon again. Ocon under pressure, big pressure again here from Lance Stroll. They're going to go wheel to wheel into the S section once again. This time, can Stroll pull off the move? He's going to go around the outside of the first, on the inside of the second, into the hairpin. Ocon's going to send it deeper on the brakes. And Ocon once again holding onto the position. That Alpine looking a little bit better through that S section than the Aston Martin. Now again, we see Stroll behind the Alpine of Esteban Ocon. He's going to go to the inside on this occasion. Can he make it work on the inside line? On the inside of Esteban Ocon. Esteban Ocon doing all he can to try and defend it. Oh, but that's around. Pierre Gasly goes around out of turn 1 and is dropping down the order. Pierre Gasly around at turn 1. But this battle continues between Ocon and Stroll. Stroll's on the inside. Can he finally make this move stick? He's finally got the inside line on Ocon. But is the outside line going to prevail on the exit? Yes, it is. And Ocon drives away. But I believe there is a safety car now out on the circuit. The car slowed down Looks like Gasly having some trouble getting the car going again, and yes, a safety car has been called to the circuit. Gasly struggling to get his car up and running again. That means that Verstappen has lost his little lead over Lewis Hamilton. The top 4 cars all on the same strategy, but into the pits here. Pato O'Ward for Chevrolet is pitting from the hard tyres to soft tyres here. Let's see, he's going to lose a lot of ground here. Is this the right call for the Chevrolet driver? And he's going to drop all the way down. Could he be outside the top 10? No, it's looking to drop into 10th position here. From 6th position in this race, Pato O'Ward drops down into 10th, but he's got the soft tyres now. Surely he's going to have much more grip than those around him on the restart to this race. But it's a risky strategy here for Chevrolet on their debut in Formula 1. Now that Max Verstappen, I believe the safety car is going to come in now. Safety car, you can see up ahead with its lights off. Verstappen has backed up the pack now. Coming through the final corner, he's going to go quite late here. The safety car pulling in to the pit lane, you can see just up ahead. When will Verstappen go? When's he going to floor? And now he goes. Max Verstappen will restart this race with just 5 laps remaining. Max Verstappen leads the field towards turn 1. Will Lewis Hamilton have enough of a run to try and have a go at Verstappen for the lead? No, he won't. That's staying all very single file. Up at the front. Up the inside there goes Pato O'Ward on a couple of cars. O'Ward getting past, or trying to get past Lance Stroll here. Going to go around the outside of turn 2. Great move there from Pato O'Ward. Getting himself up into the 8th position. The Chevrolet driver so far, that strategy looking to work. But he's now behind Esteban Ocon for that position. But Verstappen continues to lead on this restart lap. This has been a good restart for Max Verstappen, up in the lead of this race, controlling this race so far, as we now see Pato O'Ward going to try another move on Yuki Tsunoda for 6th position here, around the outside of the final corner. This is the position. Pato O'Ward was in 6th position before he pitted, and he's now back up into 6th position. So whilst this gamble, it may not gain him much more, given the top guys appear to have dropped, or appear to have pulled a bit of a gap here. But he's already back in the 6th position he had before he pitted. But here we've got a battle between George Russell and Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc continuing to make his way up the order. George Russell was in 12th before the safety car, but now Charles Leclerc with a great move past the Williams driver. Carlos Sainz now on the second of the Ferrari. He's going to try and follow his teammate through. Can he pull it off? He's going to try and go around the outside now of turn 4. Can Carlos Sainz make that move, sticking with that superior downforce and grip? Carlos Sainz is up into 13th position, and that's the Ferraris in 12th and 13th here, both gaining a position. Meanwhile, further down the order, we have a battle between Nicholas Latifi and Mick Schumacher, 2 drivers we haven't really seen much of so far in this race. Schumacher really not having the race he would want in his Formula 1 debut. Latifi in his 2nd season in Formula 1, battling hard here to try and get himself up a position. These guys not really much to fight for at the moment, but still having a bit of fun down the order, battling over 19th position. Latifi looks like he's got it on this occasion. Now Charles Leclerc is once again on the charge. This time it's passing Kimi Raikkonen on the brakes into turn 1. A big dive to the inside of turn 1 for Charles Leclerc. Around the outside of turn 2. Good move there by Charles Leclerc. But look who's in the wings once again. It's Carlos Sainz. Once again he's going to try and get past the Alfa. He's going to try and follow his teammate through here, past the Alfa Romeo into turn 4. This time he's going to have to do it on the inside line. But again, that Ferrari with good grip, but still not quite enough to finish off the move just yet. He's going to have to go side by side with Raikkonen through the S section, but now that move is done. Carlos Sainz keeping up with his teammate Charles Leclerc as they charge their way up towards the point-paying positions. Now in a battle for 7th place, Ricciardo and Tsunoda. Ricciardo in the McLaren. McLaren have shown some good pace so far. Norris still comfortably in that 5th position, but further back, it is Charles Leclerc again making another move now, up into 10th position, past Lance Stroll. Lance Stroll, he's been putting a lot of pressure on drivers in this race, but now it is his turn to be defending. And again, is that Carlos Sainz once again going to try and follow his teammate through. Again on the outside though. This is where he's a bit better on the first move on Russell. And he's going to get it done nice and easily on the outside of turn 4. And he's clear going into the S section there. And Leclerc, after damage on lap 1, is up into 10th position. Now the driver he's got in his sight is Esteban Ocon in the Alpine. Ocon's been defending all race long, but now he's got the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc, who's cleared him already on the brakes. What a move there. Charles Leclerc having so much more confidence at this stage of the race. He's doing an absolutely stellar drive. Is the Ferrari driver getting himself up the order wonderfully so far in this race, but can Carlos Sainz follow through on this occasion? No, he can't. This time, on the time that a point's up for grabs, Carlos Sainz isn't able to make the move with his teammate. But out front, dominating the safety car restart, he had to undercut his teammate earlier in the race, but since he's got ahead, it's been plain sailing for Max Verstappen as he wins the Bahrain Grand Prix. 2nd place is Hamilton, 3rd is Sergio Perez, 4th, Valtteri Bottas. 5th is Lando Norris after a great drive for the McLaren driver. Then on debut, Pato O'Ward gets 6th for Chevrolet. Then it is Ricciardo, Tsunoda, Leclerc and Ocon will finish out the points paying positions. But here is your podium from round 1 of 2021. Here in Bahrain, Max Verstappen takes home the top prize and takes 25 points with him as well. Lewis Hamilton in 2nd place there. These two look set to have a great championship fight. 3rd place are in pole position, not the race he would have wanted, but Sergio Perez getting 3rd place, getting a double podium for the Red Bull team, which could prove crucial in their Constructors' Championship against Mercedes. But here is the rest of the results from Bahrain. As we saw, it is a 4th place for Bottas, 5th for Lando Norris, a great drive in the McLaren. Just outstanding from the McLaren driver, at one point of course running in a podium position. In 6th position, Pato O'Ward doing a great job on debut in Formula 1 and debut for the team as well. Chevrolet, I'm sure, will be over the moon with a P6 on their debut in Formula 1. Great drive from the Mexican. Behind O'Ward was Daniel Ricciardo after a grid penalty. He has recovered nicely up into 7th place, so not all is lost for Daniel Ricciardo. Tsunoda, on his Formula 1 debut, gets 8th position in the AlphaTauri, and in 9th, a great recovery for Charles Leclerc. And Esteban Ocon there getting the final points paying position. Good to see that his great defensive drive was indeed rewarded in this race. After that thoroughly entertaining race to start the season off in Bahrain, tomorrow we go to Portugal. The question is, can Mercedes and Hamilton fight back against Verstappen, or can Verstappen take his 2nd win in a row? The only way to find out is if you tune in tomorrow, so make sure to be there and see the Portuguese Grand Prix in the alternative Apex series. I'll see you there.